Ooh, there's a conversation going on in the background, seems. I don't know what this one's about. Let's see. Let's see. Test Man 111 from It Resolves MTG. I don't want to be It Resolves MTG right now. I want to be Proxy. The GOAT. Yeah, it looks like it's working. Facebook. Let's share this up on Facebook. Test Man 111. It Resolves MTG. I don't want to be It Resolves MTG right now. Let's turn this on. Everyone, you're going to see a bit of black for a bit. We're going to turn off display capture just for a little bit. Just for a little bit. Just for a tiny moment in time. Small moment in time. Why, you may ask? Very simple. Very simple. Just so I can log out of the It Resolves MTG account. It's as simple as that. Simple as that. I do wish to... God, why is... this positioning is just better. There we go. That's pretty. There we go. Swing on this side just a little. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful positioning. All right then. I will now log in as I know this is just all just set up. Look, I just need it. I just need it up. For anyone who's watching, I just need this stuff up just cause. Yeah, whatever. I don't actually need it. The prophet foretells. Alrighty then. Greetings. Are we in greetings mode yet? Have we completed greetings mode? We there? We're there if we can stop paying attention to everything. Oh, that's wonderful. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Don't need this up. Just need it up on the phone. Just because I can monitor it from the phone. Alright then we just go to this, turn on display capture, now everyone sees everything. Oh my god. Alright. Hello everyone. Welcome to It Resolves MTG, the Twitch channel where everything resolves, even if you skip yourself. Be sure, before the stream gets underway, be sure to check us out on YouTube, Instagram, Patreon. Any amount of money donated to our Patreon would be wonderful. I know Will and Kev would love it. There's some cool tier goals there. We get to play and beat them at play them at Magic the Gathering. Some other stuff like that. And if you would be so kind as to possibly check out the YouTube channel, as it has the majority of all the content that's ever been produced for It Resolves on there. All the links are under my face. You can just go to those. But enough of the introductions. Hello, I'm Alex. Yeah, I'm Alex, also known as Proxy. Full name Proxy the Goat. Why Goat, you may ask? One, I like goats. Two, they're all capitals for a reason. Figure it out. Can you do it? If you do, you get a prize. Not from me though. From someone, I'm sure. So, this is what most people who know me would probably say is my signature deck. This is my baby card, Omnath, the locus of mana. Maybe I should. Nah, I'll invite them after my deck tech. So the commander is obviously the big daddy himself, Omnath. He He is the beefiest man. But we don't use him because he's a man. Or an elemental. Or a creature in general. That's not why we use him. The creature part of him means nothing. It's simply the fact that he's a 3-mana dude that just is a battery for our green mana. That's simply why we use him. So what is the deal of the deck? Is this a green ramp deck? Those are simple. Why, everyone plays a green ramp deck. So what? Yes, everyone plays a green ramp deck. I get that. But if we were to you know, what's this option? I don't want to do any of that. If we were to go with prowess through the deck, we can notice we only run 34 lands. 8 1-drops, 7 2-drops, 13 3-drops for some reason. That may be a lot, but in Commander that's not that bad. And we go all the way up to the Big Daddy itself. The biggest spell in the deck, Primal Surge. So, this deck is a Primal Surge deck. Now, what does Primal Surge do? What does it say? Well, one, it's a sorcery. And it says, exile the top card of your library. If it's a permanent, you may put it onto the battlefield. And if you do, repeat this process. Now, the may in there is a big part. But what does that mean? What does that card effect sort of mean? It just means it's simply this. You're going to show the top card of your library. And you can decide to either keep it in exile, and if you do, this cycle ends there, or you can put it onto the battlefield and then repeat said process. So if the top card of your library is a forest, you can put it on the field. Then if the next top card is another forest, you can put that on the field. Then if the next top card is an Ulamog, guess what? You can put it on the field. And you can just keep going until you either decide to keep the top card you just exiled in exile, or you exile a non-land permanent. I mean, you exile not a non-land permanent, just a non-permanent. So, how do you get around that sort of handicap? It's simple. You just don't run any non-permanents. This is the only non-permanent in the deck. Everything else is a permanent. Everything. Nothing else is not a permanent. This is the only non-permanent in the deck. So, I'm assuming you see the pattern. You play until you get this, and then you play it, and then you win. But you shouldn't. But I know what you're thinking. In Commander, it's just a huge singleton format, so you want a lot of tutors, right? Especially tutors to get up like non-specific cards. Especially with this Primal Surge. And you're right. It would be better. This deck would be better if you just had more hard tutors. Right now we only have one, and that is in the form of Planar Portal, which is just a hard tutor. It searches for a card and puts it in your hand. Sure, it's 6 mana to play and 6 mana to use, but I mean, what else are we can't? We literally can't play Lack, so we gotta use some. But Primal Surge is not the only way to win. So Primal Surge, the effect itself feels a little stormy. Whenever I first started playing it, it feels like sort of a cascade of effects, and that's what it is. Except it's off of one card. It's like a mono card storm. It's crazy. I love the card so much. It's so good. So what I decided to do is build my deck sort of around the idea of a storm deck, where if I play a card, I get another card to play more cards, so I can get more cards to play more cards, so I can play more cards to get more cards, stuff like that. So you may notice we only run 34 lands. That's because we have 8 1-drops. Most of these 1-drops can produce mana in some form, with the exception being Helix Pinnacle and Ulvenwald Tracker. Everything else makes mana in some form. Ulvenwald Tracker is it's a fight mechanic on a stick. You need removal in Command. You just need it. It's a requirement in the game. You just lose. You can't win all the time. Helix Pinnacle for just an alternative win condition. Yeah, 100 mana is actually pretty easy to get to in Omnath. Findhorn Elves, Elvish Mystic, Arbor Elf, Llanowar Elves, even Yoraga Tree Speaker, and Llanowar Mentor. He doesn't himself make mana, but he makes Llanowar Elves, which in themselves make mana. That's why we only run 34 lands. Because typically, in a 99 cards in your deck, one in the command zone, if you have 33 or more lands, you are on average going to have 2 lands in your opening hand. On average, this is not an always thing, but the chances are highest. Not highest, but the chances are almost guaranteed with that many lands. Any less lands and you lose that sort of flexibility. And you want to be able to play a forest, or any land really, but preferably a forest, a dork, and have a land open for your next turn. So that you can play it, and then you can play Omnath and just start stockpiling mana. Even if you get mana screwed, you'll have that ability to stockpile mana. That's the general thing of what you want to do. But just in case that's not enough to what I want, most of the other cards in the deck also ramp you. Frontier Guide is straight up just go grab land from your, go grab a basic and slap it onto the field. That's a tap ability. That's crazy. Priest of Titania, Elf Lord, taps for every elf on the field. Crazy. Quest of Renewal, basically Seedborn Muse in the deck for 2 mana. That's crazy. Tidro Preserver just for a bit of protection. Wirewood Herald, because we can still run tutors. There are still some tutor effects in the deck. I believe there are 3 to be exact that aren't hard tutors, or land tutors for example, because I don't count those. And they are Wirewood Herald, which goes grabs an elf, Elvish Harbinger, which goes and grabs an elf, and this guy, Fierce Empath, who goes, he doesn't grab an elf, but he grabs a fatty. That's one of our many fatties. So what we're planning to do is, start strong with some early ramp, and then get into a bomb ramp card. And what's a bomb ramp card? A bomb ramp card is a ramp card that can produce a silly amount of mana for little effort. Priest of Titania would be a bomb ramp card because it taps almost always for more mana than you paid for. Almost always. Just because it's an elf-based deck. Another bomb ramp card would be sort of like Shaman of the Forgotten Ways, but for a different reason. The formidable biorhythm effect is incredibly powerful. That's a thing you just cannot ignore in this kind of deck, and it is indeed how I will win many games. Viridian Joiner, another bomb ramp card, because it's really easy to pump up your dudes. Elvish Archdruid, same thing. There's a lot of bomb ramp cards. And then whenever you get a bomb ramp card, as long as it produces 4 or more mana, you can go infinite with this Umbral Mantle or the Sword of the Parents. And the ability to get infinite mana in an Omnath deck, that's pretty powerful. To have an infinite, or an arbitrarily large number, commander is insane. It becomes, if you get touched by Omnath, you're dead. You're dead. You can't live. I'm just pulling up the chat on my phone. All right, this pulled up. Wonderful. And of course, you can't run your deck only on that. Like, you're not gonna just run your deck on just the hope that you draw the perfect ramp. So how do you supplement that? It's very simple. You just shove into your deck a lot of draw effects. In the preview game, the sort of test game I did before this, I talked a lot about Duskwatch Recruiter. Krylin Horde Howler doesn't matter. It actually means nothing. That part actually means nothing. But Duskwatch Recruiter, just the ability to not tap it, but just pay 3 mana and add a creature to your hand is insane. It's insane. Of course, you only get to look at the top 3, I believe. Yeah, so sure, you only get to look at the top 3, but when you have infinite mana, you just keep doing that until you have all the creatures, so who cares? It's just bonkers. In all honesty, it's bonkers. But we have more, of course. There's not just those. We also have the very powerful Selvala, which does draw cards, but that's not why she's there. Lifecrafter's Bestiary, which does draw us cards, just by paying extra green whenever we play a creature spell, which is very worth it for the card. We have the powerful Masked Mirrors. Expect if you play this card for it to chump block always and smash face always, because you want to play this as many times as you can. You just want cards. You just want them. Oracle Modiah is card advantage. It just is, because you're gonna play some cards off the top of your deck. Well, you're gonna play some lands off the top of your deck and just get access to those big bombs earlier. And if you have this nerd on the field at the same time, it's literal card advantage, because now you can just play basically almost anything that you see on the top of your library. You can just play it. But other cards that are also just flat out card advantage are cards like Champion of Ronus and Elvish Piper. They cheat out incredibly big things, just incredibly big things, too early, and that is almost in of itself just gives you the ability to win. Because if you ramp out, this is very possible, but like turn 1, you play, Tracker. No, I mean you play Forest, Elvish Mystic. Next turn you play Forest, Dork. And the next turn you can play another Dork and then Champion of Ronus if you really wanted to, or something like that. You probably would only play Champion of Ronus, and you have some mana left over, maybe even for an Omnath. The point is you can still play it. And sure, you still have the ability. You still have the ability to play these 6, 7, and 8 drops that are in the deck, just from like doing that absurd ramp at the beginning. But the point is that you get to just do more stuff. So now you, on your turn, whenever you do get to hit with Champion of Ronus, whenever you do get to attack with Champion of Ronus, whenever it exerts, you're just getting, it's kind of like gain 6, 7, 8 mana. Because it doesn't matter, you don't know what you're going to cheat in. And the same with Elvish Piper, you basically just cut the cost down immensely. Sure, you can't repeat the effect as easily with Umbral Mantle or Sword of the Pay Runes. You just get infinite value, but I mean, still, it's still a lot. Other cards that just draw us cards. Garruk, Primal Hunter. It's incredibly powerful. You'll see me do this a lot, but you'll see me just play for 5, -3, just draw a bunch of cards. Deadwood Treefolk is basically just card advantage. Shafet Monitor, also just card advantage and ramp. Garruk Color of Beast, card advantage. Green Warden, card advantage. Mana Reflection is just ramp. Card advantage if you just cast a spell. Card advantage if you just play a creature. Card advantage if you just play a creature. There's a lot of these things that just generate, either draw you cards or generate just virtual card advantage. Sure, they're sort of on the top end of this kind of thing, but they're still there. You can't really you can't fit. You just can't fit all answers into this deck. For example, this deck does have weaknesses, even though it's my favorite deck. It's not a tier 1 deck, but it does have weaknesses. But it's also very oppressive in some cases. This deck can win. This deck just can win turn 3. It can just do that out of nowhere. Just turn 1, you just play just a dude. Turn 2, you play an Elf Lord and a dude, and then turn 3, you just dude, land, Nykthos, Surge, win, and then you're like, what? But that's just incredibly unlikely to happen. That's not going to happen in most of your games. So what you really want to just sort of view on most of the decks you ever play or even build is the average game you'll get. And on average, this deck is very powerful. It doesn't run any board wipes. It doesn't run any. There are no mono green board wipes that hit creatures. There are some that hit artifacts and enchantments. There are some that hit flying creatures for a set amount of damage. But there's nothing that just says destroy them. So rather than rely on that, I just rely on single target removal in the form of my Ovenwall Tracker. There's a lot of ways to just get Ovenwall Tracker to your hand, either by just drawing a bunch of cards or tutoring for a series of creatures that get you the Ovenwall Tracker. If I had Woodland Bellower in the deck, it's a little too expensive on the MTGO, but if I had Woodland Bellower in the deck, a common play you would see me play is, well, a lot of things. You see me do a lot of things, but I think we should stop with the deck tech. I can't go over every single card in the deck tech, but this is basically the deck. Feel free to use it anywhere. It's very cheap on MTGO, and in real life, it's fairly cheap compared to most Commander decks. In real life, cards that you should expect to cost a lot more than the MTG ones are Mana Reflection, Gauntlet of Power. And there was one more, I believe. Elvish Piper. And Elvish Piper. These are all fairly expensive in real life, but on MTGO they're pennies. So, what we're going to do is we're just going to hop right into a match. We're not. We're not going to hop right into a match, apparently. Thought I was. I thought I was hopping right into a match, but I was just wrong. I was just incorrect. All right. We could hop into the single player commander game, but I don't do single player commander games. That's just not a thing in my mind. It's just not real. So while we're here, I suppose, let's go over the Sphinx Tribal deck. No, Sphinx Tribal. Now, oh look at all the cards in Sphinx Tribal. None. Okay, so Sphinx Tribal. This is a deck I built specifically for Unesh. It is an Unesh deck. It's pure and simple, just an Unesh deck. Almaret is here as a placeholder for Unesh. But I promise you, Almaret will go in here. Enter the Infinite is not actually a final card for the deck. Enter the Infinite is virtually useless in this Unesh deck. You're never, ever, ever going to play 12 mana. Ever going to play 12 mana for Enter the Infinite. Because by the time you have 12 mana, you can play 3 or 4 Sphinxes, get just more board presence, and gain roughly the same amount of cards. I know Enter the Infinite draws your entire deck, but whenever you are playing Unesh and just playing Sphinxes, you're always going to have Sphinxes that get you more Sphinxes. This, like who cares about Enter the Infinite in this context? Not just period. Like, it's a good card. Enter the Infinite's a really good card. But let's go over this. But Enter the Infinite's a really good card in Commander. Not anywhere else. But let's go over this deck just a little bit. So I have some foils. I don't know why I have foils, but I have foils. So this deck runs a lot more lands. I say a lot more. 3 is actually a lot more in Commander. There's this weird plateau of lands where if you go under it, you just fall into almost never having what you need, and if you go over it, you're just flooded. And this sort of like areas around the 39 that you're just flooded, and 35 whenever you're just barely not screwed over. So this deck is very simple. It is a pseudo mono blue ramp control deck with a lot of Sphinxes. We have Felden's Cane and Mortality just to reshuffle our decks, because we will need it. Because if no one knows this, Unesh, the Cryosphinx Sovereign, is a 6 mana 4/4 flyer for 2 blue and 4 whatever mana. You can play this Sphinx, and then all your rest of your Sphinxes will be 2 generic less. And whenever it or any Sphinx, pop my finger. Whenever that or any Sphinx come into play, you basically mini Factor Fiction. You only use 4 cards instead of the 5 that Factor Fiction does, but it's basically the same thing. You can sort of attribute that to if you hand, because you're going to target an opponent, and they're going to split up the piles, and you're going to choose a pile. That's still basically draw 2 cards. Sure, you're discarding 2 cards, but you're still sort of doing draw 2 cards. And even if it's not like draw, even if you're not taking the one, even if you're taking like the one best card that they put out, and there's like 3 great cards but not the best cards, you're still gaining a card, and on average you're still drawing 2 cards, and in some situations you're drawing 3 cards, so it averages out into drawing 2 cards. Sometimes if you can, in Commander you can draw 4 cards just because you can be like, oh, do 4/0 and I'll be your friend. So again, I'll say average 2 cards. This is why Unesh becomes insane. Because whenever you do this, whenever you reduce the curve of your deck in Commander by 2 turns, along with all of your creatures basically now saying into the bat, basically just being Mull Drifters, it's bonkers. It's insane, man. It is a mind-bogglingly powerful ability then. But how do we win exactly? Well, simple. We high tide. We gain a bunch of mana. We play a bunch of dudes. We maybe Archmage Ascension and just tutor for the rest of the game. After we just draw cards in everyone's turn, because that's just what we do, my man. Also, there's not a Vidalcan Orrery in here, so I'm going to really quickly put that in there. This card goes out, and we can search up a Vidalcan Orrery. Vidal. Yeah. There should be a Vidal. There should have been a Vidalcan Orrery in here. Let's go back to the play lobby. Maybe there's a Commander game going on. No, still no Commander game. I know I'm just sort of hanging out here. But I hope everyone who is watching is having a wonderful time just sort of hanging out while I go over this deck. So, the deck wins very simply by just gaining a bunch of card advantage and just beating your opponent to death with Sphinxes in the air. And this helps. The deck itself helps just that idea, just by the fact that Sphinxes are cards that typically, whenever they enter the battlefield, they'll gain you card advantage. Not even off of Unesh's ability, just off of their own abilities. Argent Sphinx, for example, is almost impossible to remove. So that makes most of the removal, or at least single target removal, in your opponent's hand just useless. So it's not getting you like actual card advantage, but now your opponent's 1, 2, or 3 cards in their hand are now just pointless against you. Conundrum Sphinx is a bit more on the nose on it. You basically just gain a card whenever it attacks. Sakashima. Let's do this, Sphinx. Why do you have it in here? It's very simple. It's because whenever you play Unesh, you can play Sakashima. That's my family, everyone. But Sakashima, what you can simply do whenever you play Unesh is play Sakashima copying Unesh, and Sakashima will still have her name, their name, whatever Sakashima is, will still have their name, so you can have 2 Uneshes. What does that mean? That means you double Factor Fiction and all your stuff costs 4 less. No, what does that mean? Well, your Conundrum Sphinx already costs 2 less. That doesn't help there. Argent Sphinx staying there doesn't help there. Well, so what's the point? Sphinx of Lost Truths now just becomes 2 mana. Even if you kick it. Even if you kick it, it only costs 3 mana. That's crazy. I'm not sure if you understand how bonkers that is, if you're just watching. But just imagine this. For 3 mana, you get a 3/5, which you Factor Fiction twice, and you just draw 3 cards. I'm not seeing like how that's not insane. Then Prognostic Sphinx. Basically gives you card advantage whenever it attacks, of course. But it's also very hard to remove just because of its discard effect. Now for 2 mana for a 3/5 flyer with a built-in protection and a built-in scry effect that double Factor Fictions whenever it enters. Oh, that's pretty good. Master Predicaments also just gains you card advantage whenever it deals damage to a player. But like, why are we looking at these cards? Like, who cares? Who cares about any of this stuff? I just want to point out Jwar Isle Avenger. Now you don't even need to search it if you have both out. Just for it to cost 1 mana for a 3/3. That's crazy. What about the big bombs that like hit discounts? Team Demagosi doesn't actually discount it, except by 3. That's fair. Sphinx of Jwar Isle now only costs 2 mana for a 5/5 Shroud flyer that lets you just look at the top of your library. It's pretty good. Consecrated Sphinx. I don't even need to go into why it only being 2 mana is wrong on some level. There has to be something wrong with that. Like, still only single games of Commander. That's wonderful. I'm not here to play a single player game of Commander. I'm here to play against like 5 people. Arbiter of the Ideal also just gains you advantage. Cerulean Sphinx is about the only one that doesn't get you card advantage whenever it does something. But just for the ability to shuffle your library at instant speed on a dude, it's pretty good. Sphinx Ambassador, because this costs 3 mana. That's insane. I'm leaving it up here so that you can read it, but it's insane. Sphinx of Athun, That'd be just the most card advantageous drop. So for 3 mana, you get a 5 sets. So assuming you have both Unesh and Sakashima as Unesh on the field, it is a 3 mana Factor Fiction, Factor Fiction, Factor Fiction. First off, Factor Fiction costs 4 mana. If you're doing it for 3 mana, he's already a steal, but you're getting 2 more on top of it, and you're getting a 5/6 that flies. That's why Unesh may be the sleeper best commander in this set. I mean, there are some other ones like Wind Reader Sphinx that is really integral, actually. And Chancellor of the Spires was also pretty integral-ish. But none of those are like that insane, in all honesty. They're just not. They're just not that absurd. I mean, they're good, I don't lie. They're good, but... Oh! Got a commander game. We're gonna join this with the Crash. Now you guys get to see how this does against, you know, just one dude. Not one dude, but against a menagerie of people. I shouldn't say menagerie. People aren't a menagerie. People aren't menageries. That being said, uncage the menagerie. That's a really broken card coming out of the devastation for Commander. To be honest, when I first saw it, I thought it said hand. I thought it said field. Put it on the battlefield, and that was way crazier than what it actually is. But still, it's kind of crazy. So yeah, we keep this hand, no problem. We're going against a Azuri deck and a Timna Silas Run deck and a Farah deck. Ooh, so we should expect some counter spells. Not really from the Timna Silas player. I can't imagine being countered 2 times by that guy. But as for the not him player, then there's probably gonna be some. Probably gonna be 1 or 2 counter spells from the Farah player. Especially since Nibble Obstructionist is coming out. I mean, it's not out yet, but when Nibble Obstructionist does come out, it is going into the Farah deck. So, why did I say there's room for 100 wins? I'm going to track the progress of how well this deck does. Very, very simply put. I think the deck is good enough. I think it is good enough that I believe I will reach 100 wins before I reach 50 losses. Now, why would you stick around for watching that many games? I don't know. I just plan in the future. Plus, I don't know. Maybe every stream I'll do 3 games of this. And there may be some games where I just stomp them so hard it doesn't even matter. Those can and maybe will happen. In fact, I guarantee that it'll happen at least once where I just stomp the game in by beating everyone's head in until they just can't fight against me. Now, there are some cards I left out of the deck tech. Not out of the deck itself, but just sort of mentioning them. This is another tutor effect, for example. Scratch Rod Poacher. In fact, it's one of the best tutor effects in the deck. It just is. See, we can't really do much here, so all we're going to do is level up the Yoraga Tree Speaker twice. And Orican just conceded. It's amazing. Yeah, we leveled them up twice. Wonderful. That's all we're gonna do there. We're done. We're done with that turn. Okay, so next turn we'll have 5 mana. I don't know what to do with that 5 mana. But I think I just want to play Skyshroud Poacher. Just because if he doesn't get answered, I can probably run away with the game. Probably I can run away with the game. Really easy if he just stays on the field. Especially since Azuri's gone. That's one less person to actually have to deal with removal-wise, even though the Azuri player probably didn't play much removal. Really have to worry about this Fog player. Also, that's a really pretty place. Hopefully he'll just play a Farah, and then I'll just have a turn to just have my... Yeah, Farah got the Polis. That's what I want to see. That's what I wanted to see. Yeah, we'll just play the Poacher. We'll just play him. And hopefully we just get to run away with the game. Hopefully we just win now. We may not. I won't lie to you. We may not. We still may lose. But it's a lot more likely that we'll win if this sticks around to hit the board. It's like to help to hit the board. Because there's an elf in our deck that is an absurd card. You don't know what it is yet, or it may not even actually be in the deck, but I think it's in the deck. It's in the draw spell that we have. And I think it's in the deck, but it may not be in the deck. If it's not in the deck, I'm a lot sadder. Like, a lot sadder. In fact, I'm not even going to get it. I'm not going to get it, first off, but it is in the deck to use in case I want to use it. So I kind of want to get, like, Null Mage. But I can't actually do anything with the Null Mage if I went to go get the Null Mage. So I think we're going to get... We're going to get a protection, dude. Ooh, even Mind Sensor. That's fine, dude. It's actually perfectly chill. We have so many elves in the deck that it's actually possible just to get... Oh, there it is. That's fine. See? We didn't care. We didn't need it. Sure. Yeah, even Mind Censored us. We still got one of the best elves. Period. And all we're going to do is we're just going to cast Omnav. Just going to slam him onto the field. Sure, this makes us a little bit more vulnerable to board wipes, but in all honesty, they're gonna board wipe us if we only use these. They're going to. They would board wipe this board just because of the power of my board. Most people who do play Commander know that Omnath is basically the #1 mono green commander, and no one lets an elf deck run rampant. No one does that in Commander. So I expected this board to be affected in some way, maybe even completely wiped. But if that happens, I have something to fall back on. I can Wild Wander and most likely get to the mana to play the Patron of the Orochi. Which, if I get the Patron of the Orochi off, and it stays on field, I have a Seedborn. I have a Seedborn. That's amazing. It's almost as good as Seedborn. What is Patron of the Orochi? For people who don't know, is 8 mana, 7/7. It has a mechanic that doesn't matter, called Snake Offering, and then under that it says untap all forest and green creatures. Activates the ability only once each turn. Each turn, that includes your opponent's turns, which is the nuts thing. That's the nuts thing. So you can do it on your opponent's turns. So that's why it's a Seedborn, but it doesn't do all. That includes your opponent's stuff if they have it. Oh no, they didn't do anything. It's terrible. So then we play this. And then, do we have enough to just play the Patron of the Orochi? Probably. But since this dude even hit us once, we're gonna smack the crap out of him. If he bounces Omnath to the hand, I will use the Sky Shroud Poacher, and I will lose out on 6 mana. That's fine. Just because he's weighted, it makes me ooh. Well, I'll use this. Yeah. I'll use this effect. Yeah, we lost him. Who cares? These are all cute little things that he's doing. Oh well. That's pretty. See, Yeah, sure. I mean, I can't level up, can I? And I just can't level up. So, like, whatever. It happens. It happens. But he used more spells, and now I don't seem as threatening as the Afera player. Because the Afara player just used a bunch of resources on me. So I probably don't seem as much of a threat, especially since a big bad Omnath's gone. Just since he has that even mind sensor. I can't imagine he'd be attacking me. Yeah, I couldn't imagine he was attacking me. Oh, he is. He's exclusively attacking me. That's weird. Oh, no. He's attacking both of us. Okay. Still, it's a little weird. Why is it weird? Because I don't know why you would attack me. Like, him blocking with either of his creatures is perfectly fine because they're less valuable than your commander. I mean, they're more valuable than your commander. Like, Void Mage Husher even being on the field is just bad. I don't want that. I'll have Void Mage Husher gone. I don't want there. But the Afera player is actually maybe like, not the Afera player, but Afera maybe a higher quality commander than Omnath, who is typically considered to be tier 3, but I consider him tier 2. Afera may actually be a tier 1 just because the amount of flash support that exists now. It's like kind of crazy. 1 Power Stone. He's gonna gain some mana. Ooh. My next turn, I will most likely be playing a Wild Wanderer and a Llanowar Elves, followed by leveling up my dude 3 times. I mean, he may try to Void Mage Husher me again, because he's weird, but, like, if he wants to do that, shoot, go for it. So we're gonna start off by attempting to Wild Wander into a land. The Avid Mind Sensor is on the field, so it will screw us over a little bit probably, but who cares? Yeah, use the ability, why not? Hey! Hey, you thought he would hurt us? You're kinda right. You're not wrong. So, do I think they would wipe my board on principle? Yes. If I already think that, then I should just tap this shit. Level up. And you'll have the ability to counter this at some point, I suppose. Level up. Ooh, someone's getting yelled at in the background, that's for sure. Probably my nephew, I'd imagine. He could counter this ability, but it would be one of the most pointless abilities to counter. Now all my dudes can tap for not all my dudes, but these 2 guys can now tap for more mana. I did ramp myself that turn by quite a bit. Hopefully they just didn't notice. I don't know how they wouldn't notice, but yeah, no, I wouldn't attack with. Yeah, I would attack this dude. Hit him. Hit him. Hit him in the face. He doesn't deserve to live. That's for sure. They made, like, I don't know, White Man Lion down some. I don't know what he could do. Either way, I'm gonna kill the Afera player first. If I have the ability to kill any player, it'll be the Afera player first. If I have the ability. We don't know yet. I'm looking down at my phone just to check some things. I have checked them. That's all I needed to do. Personal tutor? Why is he doing this? I mean, there's a... Yeah, dude, there's a... Yeah, there's an even mind sensor on the field. Enchantment aura. Wow. Okay, so I haven't gotten board wiped yet, and that's good news. So the Timna is coming at me, which means I'm gonna take 3 more, and that's going at him, because he has a mind sensor. And that's how I imagine. Yeah, he did get attacked by something. Declare blockers. I can't block anything, so. Yeah, we're both getting about 3. You can draw 2 cards. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Also, I have 5 commander damage. Ooh. Throne of the God Pharaoh. We both lose some life. Hopefully these guys hate each other more than they maybe hate me. We have a lot of mana. We do. We have a ton of mana, but we don't have anything to use it with. Like, there's no, like, I need a mana sink. And I could have I could get a mana sink if Aven Mind Center was not on the field. Oh, he just skipped his turn? That's weird. So we're gonna start by searching ourselves up just an elf. He made Void Mage Husher me. But I didn't want any of those cards anyway. So we're just gonna play. We're just gonna write off just smack down the Omnath, Locust of Mana. And then I mean, you're not gonna do anything else. That's it. That is it. We can stockpile like 4, 6, 10 mana. So we can get 10 mana. That's good. If we want it, we can get 10 mana. But I doubt Omnath will stay on the field, and I doubt our board state will not be affected by the end of both of these guys' turns. I can't imagine it not being affected. In some manner. I may not lose my board in its entirety, but I still may lose. Did he play that, or did he cycle that? Oh, he's playing it. Oh, that's an Archfiend of Ifnir. Oh, is this dude doing a cycling deck? That's sweet if he is, but he's doing he's doing like 2 of the wrong commanders. The correct color pairings. The correct color pairings with the wrong commanders. Actually, he's only Esper. Yeah, he's doing it wrong. He's missing green if he's going to do a cycling deck. I built a cycling deck. It uses Ravos and Kaideli. Whatever. The creature. You may just be using Archfiend of Ifnir for the ability. Not the cycling ability, but because it's just cycling or discard. So it like triggers super easy. And it's a sweeper if you just cycle any card. Or discard any card. Oop, stunt double. Stunt double coming in as Archfiend of Ifnir. Is he gonna discard his hand? And that'll be sad for me. That would suck. Oh, he's just blocking? That's fine. You can't block anything. But he used 4 mana. He did use 4. He didn't really use 4 mana. He used 0 mana. That's what I'm gonna say. So he used 0 mana. How did he just use 0 mana? It's very simple. He didn't use any mana his last turn, and he's about to untap. So it's basically 0 mana. Oh, did he discard? I'm very sad. I want to be able to tap my stuff. I want to be able to tap my stuff And if I can't, I'm going to be a little sad. Because I have many things that don't deserve to die to this ability. I wanted to do things, but okay. I don't know how to stop that from happening. I'm a little sad. I'm one whole sad at the moment. As I do not feel that shit just happened. But it did. And now I have 10 less mana. Sad. Oh, but even Mind Sensor's gone. I win! Sort of. Sort of win. Let's see. What just happened? Did they just keep dying? He's still alive. He's still kicking around. I really wish I had tapped all my creatures, so I would have had 10 mana. That would have been real good. That would have been real good. Also, I like how this card is essentially 11 mana, give all your elves, add 2 to your mana pool. I like that it's that much, and that I play it, just because I think it's a little silly. But it's still a great card, in Commander at least. And it's not 10 all at once. If it was 10 all at once, it would just be horrible. It just couldn't. It would be just be an awful card. It would be horrible. The fact that it, whenever you level it the first time, it can then level itself up just by tapping is pretty good. This was a lot of sort of hard rain right now going outside. On the outside, it's raining. It's hard rain. When I say hard rain, I'm not saying like it's hard water, which is turned into rain, because hard water is a thing. But it just sounds loud, and that's why I say hard rain. So I said that we were probably going to win this. That's when I had 10. That's when I thought I would have 10 mana, and my creatures were on the board. I'm actually not all that at all intimidated by the Esper player, like at all. Like I don't care that he's there. In all honesty. Yeah, sure. I'll just play. I'll just play the Gauntlet of Power. I'll just play it. If he has a counter spell, he'd probably counter the. Okay, no counter spells. Cool with that. Yeah, we'll just smash down the patron of the Orochi. Like sure, we'll just play the big fatty. We'll just slam him down. Put him into play. 8/8. Untaps all your stuff. All my stuff. Except for my Reliquary Tower. That's which is sad, because I don't even have the cards in hand to abuse it. But let's see. 75 cards in deck, 81 cards in deck, 82 cards in deck. He probably has an answer to my Patron of the Orochi if he wants to answer it. So your move. That was a neck pop. That was another neck pop. Alright. So we can Glyph Keeper from the grave. Actually, how did he even get that second Ifnir trigger? Currently, he needs to cycle 3 cards in order to kill the Uraga. And he needs to cycle 8 cards, unless he just wants to Vizier Many Phases as Archfiend of Ifnir. I mean, he may try to do my Patron, but that'd be stupid. That'd be dumb. That'd be a dumb move. So I'm assuming he's going to get the Archfiend of Ifnir. And that'll be 2 Ifnir triggers anytime he cycles anything. That's pretty big. That's pretty big. That means that Ifera can never turn on as a creature. But if it ever turns on as a creature, it'll be in risk of getting killed. Yep, 2 Archfiends of Ifnir. A little scary. Reanimate? What the heck is it reanimated? So then for my grave. And if it's a Glyph Keeper, I'm gonna laugh. Oh, he's just gonna... Oh yeah, that's fair. 3 Archfiend of Ifnirs. It's pretty good, actually. So now if he cycles anything, it wipes my board. Except for the Patron of the Orochi, of course. Ooh. Ooh. Uh-oh, Aetherize. That's bigger than Aetherize. Aether Spouts. Angel of the Dire Hour. That's dope. That's pretty good. You can respond. If he wants to protect one of his things, he can bounce his Archfiend, for example, with the Aether Spell Bomb. I have no responses. But I don't know if I would do that, personally. But I would definitely consider it. This is because it's sapping a lot of value away from him. So... So I'm going to have a lot, and I do mean a lot of mana. If it gets back to me, which it probably won't. But it's still true that I'll have a lot of mana. These guys are playing around with Sacred Mace. At the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice Sacred Mace unless you sacrifice Pegasus. Oh, that's cute. I know what he's doing with that. Now you get 2 mana, draw a card. And every upkeep. It's pretty broken. I don't know which one he's doing, but I don't care. It could be Gauntlet of Power or Patron of the Orochi, and that's fine. I don't know what he did, but okay. Oh, it's a land now. Okay, cool. Cool, it turned into a land. Hey, a Nykthos. Oh, it's... Hey, an Omnath. I had to pay 6 mana. Aw, man. Aw, man. I overpaid. Omnath. Yeah, then untap all forest and green creatures. Alright. Pass on the next turn. Just pass on. Almost impossible that Omnath won't be dealt with. Because he'll be a kill stick. So. Like, I can't imagine Omnath not getting killed. In the simplest case scenario, it gets Aether Spellbombed. And like... Oh, it's either or? That's stupid. Uh-oh, a sacred massa. Sacred massa. That's scary. You know how good that card is? A 1/1 flying Pegasus. It's almost a storm herd. If there was 27 more of them. Whew. I just need any sort of overrun effect. And there's a few in here. It's actually not a ton. There's actually not as many as my real life deck. In my real life deck, I have Craterhoof and Pathburger Ebex. And here I don't have that many. There's still some. There's plenty. It's enough to make sure I'll run someone over. But currently we're only with 2 cards in our hand. We're gonna get duplicated on something. I don't know what he's duplicating. Like, it doesn't matter if he duplicates. A duplicant, my patron of the Orochi. Untap all forest and green creatures. Boom. And then you duplicate him. And he's duplicated. Yeah, he's duplicated. Yeah, whatever. He's duplicated. But I got 27 Omnath. So I equip it. It's a 6/3 in the air. It's actually not that bad. It's probably gonna hit me with it. Or no one. Yeah, no one's better. That's what I thought. Nerd. Alright, so we are looking a bit dodgy. We need something that is a card draw engine. Or we need Planar Portal. So the best draws are Planar Portal, Primal Surge, Planar Portal, Primal Surge, Duskwatch Recruiter would be pretty good as well. Like, I could deal with Soul of the Harvest, or Primordial Sage, or Zendikar, or Resurgent. I could deal with any of those. Regal Force I could be fine with. Masked Admirers I'd be fine with. I wouldn't be stoked about it by any stretch of the imagination. But I'd be okay with it. I'd be as okay as I can be, at least. God, these guys have a bunch of cards. I'd love to have a bunch of cards. So he's gonna block with the Pegasus if I swing at him. I mean, he's gonna block with I don't know, Archfiend. Or the Archfiend. That's what I'd imagine. Because that's what he put the thing on. So I probably just won't swing. It's very simple. I just probably won't swing. I can make 2 mana. Let's see, does he single target removal it? That would have been a little sad if he did. He'd be okay with it, because it would have just happened. Oracle of Moldiah. Bam. Planar Portal. That's all I need. I need the card that's on top of my library in my hand. Yeah, in my hand. I won't attack. I don't care about attacking. I don't need to attack. I don't need to attack ever to win the game, so I'm not going to. Simple as that. Sacred Mesa. Whoa. I did not see that one coming. So yeah, if it gets back to our turn, If he gets back to our turn and at least Yoraga is on the field, nah, I mean, no, we don't. There's no way we would just win. We can't win. We can't just win if our board's wiped. If our board's wiped, then we lose. I mean, we don't lose, just we just don't instantly win. On the other hand, if we keep the board the same as it is, and get a planar portal, then it doesn't get countered, then yeah, we win. This planar portal has to not get countered, and Primal Surge has to not get countered. So that makes me not want to get either of those cards. Because he's held up, the far player's held up a decent amount of mana. It's my understanding he still has like the Void Mage Husher in his hand or something. Which I'm pretty sure is counter target activated ability, period. Not on a creature, just activated ability. So I don't know. I don't think Planar Portal will ever get me there. So what makes me want to go get instead is like a decent. All right. Wharf Infiltrator, also a Commander All-Star. What it makes me want to go get with Planar Portal, if I just can't, it doesn't matter what I get, is instead of Primal Surge, it's just, I don't know, it's kind of got me on a box. Activated ability thing is a big one. I don't believe Void Mage Husher is in his grave, so it must be in his hand. It has to be in his hand. I'm going to decline this call from Florida. So I don't care, Florida. I don't care. I don't care if you call me Florida. I'll never answer. Unless I have to, of course. So, we're in a bit of a bind. Now, sure. Void Mage Husher, I believe, is 2 or 3 mana. Maybe it'd be more than that. Point is, he still has it in his head, I'm pretty sure. I mean, we're still going to Planar Portal. We're still going to try. That's for sure. We're still going to try the Planar Portal. That's like, it's not even like questionable. I'm assuming he's just going to poop out as many Pegasus as he can, right? Why wouldn't you? Yeah. That flying force in there. Make it an actual storm herd instead of just kind of like a storm herd. So the best draw, I think I may actually Planar Portal into like a Duskwatch Recruiter. But probably not. Just due to like all of the, like, I can't imagine he'll let me Planar Portal. I just can't imagine that happening. But in the world where he does allow me to Planar Portal, I do get Primal Surge, even if he has like a counter spell in hand. Normally I would set up the deck so I can't be like beat from that. But I just want to win. So, also the game's been going on a good amount of time. Being you up, keep sacrifice one of your 6 Pegasuses. Horse birds. Pick up one of your horse birds. Horse birds. Thirst for knowledge. Wow. Horse birds. So, why are there 2 triggers though? Oh, because he discarded 2 cards. Okay. Okay. I figured it out. I gotcha. Yes, these things happen. Bam. Neg 1, neg 1s. Bam. More neg 1, neg 1s. Neg 2, 1. Because that's the only option it could be. There's a neg 2, 1. I don't think he's gonna Wharf Infiltrator for a dude. I mean, I mean, he'd still have man open, but I wouldn't do it. It's more convincing he has a counterspell if he leaves 3. But like, what the crud the 3/2 gonna do? It's not gonna do anything. It's gonna die. That's what's gonna do. It's gonna sit on the field and be stupid. The reason that he used the fact that just happened makes me think he doesn't have a counterspell in hand, but I still know he has the Void Mage Husher, and he may draw a counterspell, even though he has to sacrifice the Sacred Mesa unless he uses its ability. He can still save, like he can still save his Sacred Mesa if he uses the ability of Sacred Mesa, but that's a 2-mana investment, and I don't know if that's what he wants to do or anything. But I mean, if that's what you want, if that's what he wants to do, like, I'm all for it. As long as he does it soonish. Come on, man. Utomocrat. I can't Mnemonocrat. I can't. Like, whatever his name is. Painted Red, Orican, Pneumotocrat? I don't know how to say it. Someone who watches this video, comment down below. What is... Alright, it's a 1v1. Okay. That's dumb. So I may not be able to beat him anymore because a control deck versus this kind of deck is hard unless I have like Dosan in my hand. If I had Dosan in my hand, it's wonderful. If I had Dosan and Prowling Serpapard in my hand, ho, if I had that. Prowling Serpapard can't be countered, and creature spells you control can't be countered. Dosan super ensures that because players can only play spells on their turn. It's really good. Crazy good. It's actually bonkers. Because that just means for 6 mana, you can't be affected. You just can't be affected by things. Which means you're free to do whatever you want on your turns. Which just means you run over your opponent. Because the thing you want to avoid is interaction. Like, you don't want your opponent to interact with your board when you're playing this deck. You don't want them to do anything. You want them to forget that your board exists. Really, is what you want. I am assuming he's going to leave up some mana for a block. I mean, something. He has to have an answer. There's like nothing he couldn't. He has to have an answer. So that's why you just don't give him a chance to use the answer. You just don't swing. You don't aggravate him at all. You just let him do his thing. It's the main phase. It's the end step. I'm just gonna make all that mana, I suppose. Oh, he's gotta discard some cards. If he discards Void Mage Husher, we go for it. We go for it. So he had to discard 2 cards. Muldrifter and Windbrisk Heights. Alright. So my library. Oh, that's wonderful. Alright then, so Planar Portal. Yeah, we're not gonna use any mana. We literally are using mana, but you Void Mage Husher me, nerd. If he does it, he does it. Like, I can't. You serious? Did that just happen? So that means he has a counterspell. Sadly, that is what that means. Do we still go get Primal Surge and pray? Or do we get a non-assuming card and just let it work? Like, I don't know. Like, I'm under the impression he doesn't have a counterspell. Because I feel like he would have saved his thing if he could have. So I'm going to just Primal Surge and see if I win. Do I win? Do I win? Counter it or I win? I win! So, we're gonna stop as soon as we see Dosan. The second that happens, we're done. That being said, we're still going. We'll keep going hard, it seems. So our stuff is hexproof now. Mana Reflections. Forest. Eventually we'll see Dosan and we can stop this. Stoicism, so our stuff has regeneration. Our stuff is indestructible now. He's still like, I have this in the game. I have this in the bag or something. He probably thinks he's still fine. If he does, he's wrong. He's lost the game. So now my stuff can't be sacked or anything. White bear. There we go. Wild bear. There we go. Come on. Double. There we go. Okay, now we super win. Because I see all these cards, and I just gotta land, I'll say no to land. Jeez, man. Eventually, we'll finish stacking these triggers. The reason I'm doing all the Savala ones last is so that they just churn through when they're done. Because the Savala ones check and then do it. There's no May option. So I'm just settling all of those at the last ones. So it makes it easier. And there's some guys that are slipping in there. So does this say, is this a May? It is not a May. So what we gotta do now is, did we lose? No, we have not lost. What we're gonna do is we're gonna Deadwood Treefolk. Our Deadwood Treefolk back a, I don't know, man. Sky Shroud Poacher. We're gonna Elvish Harbinger. Fierce Empath. Green Warden. Back the Llanowar Elves. Mass Dudes. Then we're gonna do that. But it's gonna be after all of these. So for these, always no to trigger ability from Soil Harvest. Always yield the trigger ability from cards. Name sort of holders. Alright then. So we're gonna say no a bunch. I can't believe this guy's still here. He probably still thinks he has a chance. It'll be very sad when he figures out he doesn't. I will draw from some of these. Just because they're tied for the biggest thing on field. I mean, I may have drawn my deck, but who cares? Like, man, I don't care. There's a bunch of cards now. Whoa! That's amazing. Oh, I drew all of the cards in my deck? That's amazing. That's fine. That's fine. That happening, it's perfectly normal. How do you avoid that, you may ask? Very simple. You play a card called Kozilek. This guy. You play this man. You play this man. And then you can't get yourself milled out. How do you do that? Well, it's very simple. Because you can do everything at instant speed after you do that whole primal surge thing. All you do is you count how many green creatures exist on the field, and then you flash out Kozilek, let him hit field, then you fight bear everything to death with the Umbral Mantle, sort of the Pay-Runes thing. And then you're just done after that. I mean, it's like that's the end of that whole shtick. Now, we are waiting for another match, that's for sure. We did just lose, and that was our first loss out of only none more we will get, because we will have infinite wins after this point. Infinite wins. Only wins from now on. Only wins. But it still did happen. We still did lose. And there's a game actually open right there, but it is around, oh my god, it is around that time when dinner is normally eaten. And you see, I like food. It's one of my favorite things. So I feel like I'll be shutting the stream off momentarily, but before I do, please go check all the links under my face. Check out It Resolves on Instagram, YouTube, Patreon, even Twitter, Facebook, everywhere. They got all the social media things working. Come to the stream, come to Twitch, watch Mir Parks. Parks plays some Grixis artifacts in standard. I play this mostly. This is mostly what I'll be playing. I will, for a teaser, just a teaser, small teaser. I do have a Pauper deck, and it's amazing. Just look at this. I'm sure you've noticed there's 3 colors there, Alex. You're playing Jund, but then you look over the sideboard and you see a blue card and a white card. So, this was just a little something to show you guys. But thank you all for watching. Check us out over at all the things. I'm going to go back to OBS and hit the stop stream button. So, hasta luego, everyone.